Greetings, YouTubers. How's it going out there in YouTube land? Just another day in paradise, right? That's what I thought. Well, we are going to be talking about brakes today. This is my 2000 Toyota 4Runner. And over the last couple of days, I've noticed the pedal has gotten a little spongy and actually drops about halfway down to the floor. Now, as you can see right now, if I put my foot on the pedal, see how far it goes down? You may not be able to see that, but it's going down a little more than it really should. Now, a lot of people see this problem, and they right away think that they need to replace their master cylinder, even perhaps go ahead and bleed the brakes. But in reality, if you have rear drum brakes, it's just a simple adjustment that you might have to make. That's right. So if this has happened to you, this may not cost you a penny to fix. So this will only apply to vehicles that actually have drum brakes on the rear. Now, if you have disc brakes on the back, you may have to actually start looking into maybe your master cylinder getting bad, or perhaps a leak somewhere in your brake line. If you're losing fluid, that is a telltale sign that you have a leak somewhere, probably causing your spongy brake conditions. So the first thing we've got to do here is go ahead and get the wheel off and make sure your vehicle is blocked up really well with a nice secure jack and a jack stand. And first thing you want to do is go ahead and take the drum and try to turn it a little bit. If it turns really freely, we know these brake shoes in this drum are not grabbing a little bit. They actually should be barely touching this inside of the drum, giving us a little bit of resistance. So right here, we have way too much play. And it looks like we may actually have to do some adjustments on the inside of the brake drum. So what we're going to do now is go ahead and pull this off, and we're going to just look at it real quick. And you can see it came off pretty easy, but if I pull this off a little bit more, you can see that the inside of this drum here is in pretty good shape. And what we need to do is make an adjustment right here on this guy. And what we have to do, we have to make an adjustment right here. This is like a little star adjustment that takes the brake shoes here and puts them to a point where they barely touch the inside of the drum, and that's what you want. Now, if your vehicle is really hard to get under, you can actually take this drum off and put the drum back on and just keep spinning it and turning it from the outside like this, making your adjustments. Or, most cases, in the back here, if I pop this little rubber piece off in the back, I think you can see it right here. Now we're able to get in here and make an adjustment from behind. And sometimes you can just take a screwdriver and stick in here just like this. I think you can kind of see that screwdriver there. Let me see if I can get the camera set up just a little bit better for you. And now you can see the little bit of light there and see the screwdriver. And now I can just simply turn this. And they do make a tool, believe it or not, for this particular job. You can get in and turn the back of this, and you can see we can just simply turn this and make our adjustments here accordingly from the back side. So I'm going to go ahead and make an adjustment here. We're going to pull these brake shoes out just a little bit more so they'll give me a little resistance on that drum. So let's go ahead and try that. Alright, so now we'll go ahead and put our drum back on, and I think that's going to be pretty good right there. And we'll go ahead and stick this on and see if it's a little bit tighter. And the reason I'm doing this is on the outside like this is to give you a nice visual. A lot of times it's hard to get in from behind and make the adjustments and show you how to do that. But I figured this would work out pretty well this way. So what we're going to do, we'll put this on. So if it starts to go on a little bit tight, you know you're going in the right direction. So there we go. Oh, that is much better. So now I'll take my screwdriver in the back here and I'll make an adjustment. And obviously you're not going to be able to see this, so let me turn this just a little bit more in the back. And you can probably hear it. All right, let's try that. Much better. Let's give it a couple more turns here real quick. All right, see, that's much better. I can feel a lot of resistance there. So shoes are on the inside and they are actually pushing on this drum just the way I want it. So that feels a lot better. So now we'll go ahead and look at the other side. And don't forget, if you take your cap off on the back, don't forget to put this back on. Okay, so this side is done. And look at this. It is really nice and tight. This is the way I want it. So let's go ahead and get this wheel on. All right, so let's hit the other side. Alright, that was not too bad. It seemed like the driver's side was the one that was really had way too much play in it. Feels pretty good. We'll go ahead and make an adjustment anyway. Alright, so this one is a little bit loose. We'll go ahead and pop, we got a rubber piece here off on the back. And we'll take our screwdriver, and this one here turns toward me. If I spin it clockwise, it'll tighten this up. So I've got my screwdriver in the back. Go ahead and make some turns here real quick. Alright, starting to feel pretty good. I think you can hear that spring making that noise as I turn that star. Alright, much better. Let's get just a little bit tighter, because we don't want any travel in that brake pedal there. And the tighter we get these shoes against the drum, the better. Alright, let's try that. Much better. That is the way I want it. That's the way it should be. And that way, when you go to pull your emergency brake, you won't have a lot of travel in your emergency brake handle. These shoes won't have far to travel, and they will hold this drum. So I think this is going to be really good. All right, we'll go ahead and put our cap back on here, and we'll go ahead and put our foot on the brake. We'll start it up and see if this took care of my issue. All right, let's go ahead and start it up and see what we got for brakes. And I see this a lot, especially on Dodge Caravans. Dodge Caravans have rear drum brakes. A lot of vans do, but vehicles coming out nowadays, some of them still have drum brakes on the back, so you can still make this adjustment if you have a pedal that's going weird. That's the first thing you want to do before you start putting parts in your vehicle, especially master cylinders and all that. So go ahead and start this up. Running like a top still, so let's see what we got here for brake pedal travel. I know the way it was, how it was before. All right, we'll drop it down in gear. Oh, that's much better. So much better. See, if I just barely put my foot on the brake now, hardly any travel whatsoever. So that took care of the problem. So glad to share this happy results. Okay, so that looks like that may have taken care of the problem. This side here had a lot of slack in it between the shoe and the drum, and on this side it wasn't too bad. It probably, I think with the star I turned it a turn and a half, and that brought these shoes really tight up against this drum now, and I shouldn't have any travel in my brake pedal in there, which will be really good. So what we're going to do is put this wheel back on, we'll take it out for a spin and make sure it's going to be okay. It should feel a lot better, and remember, this is not unusual. A lot of times you have to make adjustments like this because these brake shoes do have springs on them, and as soon as you let off on the pedal in there, those shoes will go right back where they were before. So it's kind of an adjustment that you have to do with these kind of brake systems on vehicles nowadays, especially some of the older vehicles. So let's put this wheel on and take it out for a spin and see if these brakes feel really touchy now. All right, everyone, I'm happy to report that did take care of the problem, and just by barely touching these brakes now, I have full stop, which is great. You're probably not going to be able to see this, but I'd like to show you the pedal and show you the ground below me, how it's moving when I hit the brake and when it stops. But man, what a difference. So I always like to verify that what I did works before I upload videos, so it will save you a lot of hassles. So just remember, people, if you have rear drum brakes, don't forget to adjust them, because they do need adjustment. It is not unusual to have to adjust drum brakes now and then. So I am really happy that is taking care of the problem, and it actually stops a lot better too. So make sure you adjust your rear drum brakes if you have that problem. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and all that good stuff. And thanks for watching. I hope these tips helped you out. And if it did, let me know. And until my next video, guys, I will see you guys later. And thanks for watching, and have a good one.